I'm sorry, I try to be a YouTuber and I can't. I don't know why I'm making this. Well, I kind of, I do, but I don't. And it's like, I'm so sick of talking about my gender. It's just really, oh my god. So, and I know I'm angrier because I haven't eaten and I just don't want to go grocery shopping. I don't, because I'm stressed out about how much money I've been spending. And I know it's a terrible reason, because you need to eat. Anyway, I'm angry. I'm angry about, the last time I left the city, someone came out of the disabled washroom, a woman, and yelled at me to use the men's. And I'm angry that I have to be grateful that I have to leave the city to have that experience. And there's literally an inner transphobe in my head being well, you signed up for this, blah, 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 this, but you won't, blah, 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 blah. And it's I have that voice because I really feel shutting people out because of their hatred for me. I want so desperately to be able to understand and connect with everyone regardless of what they think or believe. So it's I have to have the understanding of that and not just become a hateful person who's just well, you hate me, so I hate you. And there's an inner leftist trans person who's really radical, who's you're bootlicking, you're conforming to this is what they want, you're just self-hating, which I think there's an element of truth in that, but also it's just so much more, not complicated, but vast. I'm sick of thinking about things through the lens of politics. And the inner leftist says, that's because you're in this very privileged position where politics aren't your life. But it's I don't think there's so many people in every walk of life, every type, severity of oppression, that will echo the sentiment that they're sick of their lives being politicized, or they just choose not to politicize their life. And that doesn't mean it's a lens. And I think that there is validity in saying, I'm sick of this lens. I don't like that everything I look at is through this lens, and it's just so that lately. So many people just cannot take off the lens. And the leftist says that's because I'm marginalized, but it's you are choosing to put on the lens because you think that your life will be better. And I'm not saying that anyone's wrong about that, but it's I think that we're missing stuff, and I don't think that that's anyone's fault, but it's the inner leftist is just angry, and the anger just goes wherever. And the inner transphobe is scared, I guess. Scared, yeah. The anger is I mean, they're both scared. The inner leftist is really scared that people aren't gonna think that they're a good person, and angry at lots of things. And this is the outlet that they have for it, is everything becomes a political struggle because it feels actionable. And they're afraid that there's no end to the pain. That is I think the existential fear is what if this is just the way that it is the worst horrible thing for a leftist, is this type of societal suffering is inherent. There's no escape. And the inner transphobe is just like really afraid of what they don't understand, like change. Anything that feels like that, they're afraid of that like viscerally like repulsive feeling, like disgust. I think like seeing like a woman with hairy legs, or I mean, there's different, like, I think that disgust is one part of it, is kind of just like being confronted by somebody who is sexualized and repulsive at the same time is really confronting, uh, because a lot of us have had like that, is just like it feels so vulnerable to be like sexual, and then to have that feeling of like repulsion. Like, I get that. So I was assigned female at birth. A lot of people think that I was assigned male at birth. It's like a double-edged sword. I don't know. Like, it's what I wanted, but also like, yeah, I have like, you know, some of the trans girl problems of like feeling like a gross man, but like, obviously not obviously, but like, it's so, oh, like I'm sick of the theory. It's too much theory. This is why when I talk to people now, I'm just like, I don't really like the only takes that I'll give are like to my like really close trans friends, where I can just say like problematic BS, and it's just like water off a duck's back. But like, if if I'm actually gonna have a conversation about it, I'm just like, ask me a question. Ask me about whatever you want, and I'll answer you as frankly as possible. And this is what this was supposed to be, just frankly as possible. Like, here's my gender. So I really went through this spiritual awakening, and I just started to feel I wanted to reconnect with my body. And being on testosterone felt like trying to change my body into a shape that I liked better. And I just started to feel like that's not what my body is for. Like, my body doesn't exist for me to be happy about how it looks. If my body wants to be estrogenated, I'm gonna let her be estrogenated. So I got top surgery when I was 15, and now I've been off testosterone for. I started testosterone when I was 14. I would say I'm like, I think of myself as transsexual more than transgender, because gender just is a very abstract concept. Um, I don't feel like I'm transing gender. I don't feel like I'm like going from girl to boy. I feel like I'm just me, and that has a gender element. Like, I exist within gender as much as like gender is a lens that I can put on to contextualize my experience socially, emotionally, like interpersonally. Um, but transsexual is like, I have transed my sex in a lot of ways. I chose I chose to become like physically more male. I was really just upset. I was upset a lot when I was a teenager that I was never going to be able to be in like a gay relationship with a man. I was attracted to men, but I was very uncomfortable with being in a heterosexual relationship. I was very uncomfortable with the idea of men being attracted to me because I was female or like a woman. And when I was before I grew up, like physically, I really wanted boobs. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna like in high school, I'm gonna wear makeup, I'm gonna have boobs. It's gonna be the best thing. I'm gonna be so popular. Um, and then I got them, and I was like, oh, this is actually bad. I think it was really uncomfortable to be in my body and having breasts was a part of my anatomy that I could fixate on. Like, this is the problem. But now I'm growing them back. They're not on purpose, like, it's just happening. Which is very rare after you get top surgery. But it's happening to me, which is nice because I was really sad because I really want to get pregnant. And it's kind of like, I would love, like, I've been thinking of my body more as just like it exists in its own right for its own thing. Like there's me, the ego, and then the body is like a whole. It's just doing its own thing. It's like not a separate entity, but like an entity that that the ego is in dialogue with, not like forcing its will onto the body. And then there's the body as vessel to create life, which is like just a miracle, like crazy. I really want to do that. I really want to make this like me. I want to make that happen, like a totality of experience, and it came from my body. It's insane. Um, so I was really upset about the idea that I wouldn't be able to feed my babies, but now I will be able to feed my babies. But you can't really. There's nothing there, like really, right now. It's pretty flat, but you can feel it, but it's mostly just hurts a lot. Very sore. And some days I feel more feminine, some days I feel more masculine. I feel like the vibe that I'm just gonna be a woman in the future most of the time, or like feel more aligned with that. But I don't know, it's really complicated still in relation. I've never felt comfortable with how the men that I was seeing romantically viewed me. I think I'm viewed as there's like an element of like fetishization, I guess, that I feel. I'm also just really uncomfortable with stacks in my body. So that might have and unable historically to assert my boundaries around what I feel comfortable with. So we'll see how that changes. But I've been saying, like, there's like a little trad wife in here that just wants to be a pretty princess and, strong masculine man. I like being able to kind of like be the girl in a very superficial way. Um, but as soon as you scratch any layer below the surface, there's a lot more going on. Like I need to be able to be the man. Um, and have him like be the girl. And this is like so funny that you're not really supposed to talk about it like this in terms of, you know, politicization of queerness. Like, who's the girl, who's the boy? But it's like there's like I feel like someone is being the girl and being the boy. Sometimes you're both the girl, sometimes you're both the boy, but like I really like having that like dynamic where someone is, you're kind of playing off of each other. So it's really distressing to me that I'm not more attracted to women, because having someone be my counterpart in terms of like I can be, you know, the girl and the boy, and then they can be the girl and the boy, and we kind of like switch off, and I can appreciate like the feminine parts. It's like I appreciate femininity, but I appreciate it romantically in men. There's a gay man and there's a straight woman in here. And it feels like I'm missing out on such a beautiful way to connect with half of the population. But I can't. The only way that I've been able to soothe myself around this is being like, well, there are other, like, this isn't a more valid way to connect with people. There are other ways that you can connect with people that having that sexual and romantic element actually dulls. You can have really deep friendships when that's kind of just off the table. Um, I don't know. I hate this video. I hate this video so much. If you have any questions, I'll make a follow-up video. Oh my god. I hate gender. I hate it. But it's so beautiful. I would not get rid of it if I was making things again. Oh my god, I hate it. Okay, bye.